Stop. Do not scroll past this message. Lift your eyes to my face right now because heaven has aligned time itself to bring you to this intersection. You did not arrive here by accident. I guided your hand to this exact video in a sea of noise. I need your absolute attention for the next few minutes. Something major is shifting in the unseen realm right now, and you cannot afford to miss it. You must brace yourself for the news I am about to release over your life today. It is a divine message that will challenge your comfort, but it will ultimately rescue your destiny from a hidden trap. You are standing at a critical threshold. A massive announcement has been authorized from my throne. You must prepare your spirit to say goodbye to what is destroying you. Come closer, my beloved child. Let me speak softly to the part of your soul that is most tired. I know how heavy your heart feels right now. You are carrying a weight that was never meant for your shoulders. You smile for others while quietly breaking inside. I see every single quiet struggle you try to hide from the worldly eyes that surround you daily. You have been fighting intense battles in silence for months. You pretend you are strong. You pretend the exhaustion does not hurt you as deeply as it does. And every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You wonder how much longer you can keep pushing forward alone without any help. The truth is that your energy is completely empty. You are pouring your sincere heart into hands that do not know how to hold it. You give your love to people who only look at you as a resource. They drain your peace, while you constantly try to fix their broken pieces. This exhausting cycle of constant depletion must end right now under my authority. I know you are a pure-hearted giver. You hate the thought of walking away from someone in need. You always make excuses for the people who hurt your spirit. But you are destroying the sacred garden I placed inside you because you are allowing toxic attachments to drain your holy oil. I love you too much to let you fail in this dark season. Do you hear the urgency in my voice? Do you feel that quiet restlessness shifting behind your sternum right now? That is not anxiety. That is your spirit recognizing a divine warning from my throne. Pause right here and take a deep breath. Let the noise of the world fade away completely while you listen to the words of your Creator. You have spent years shrinking yourself to fit into rooms that were too small for your destiny. You tolerated the disrespect because you feared the deep pain of loneliness. You thought you were being faithful by enduring the constant emotional abuse. But I never called you to be a doormat for the adversary. You are my treasured masterpiece. When I tell you that you must say goodbye, your heart instantly trembles with fear. You ask me how you can leave the familiar ground behind. You ask me who will support you if you choose to walk away. But you forget that I am your ultimate source of provision. I was your safe refuge long before they ever entered your life to confuse you. The news I am bringing you today is both a rescue and a confrontation. I am exposing the hidden agendas of those who smile at your face, but plot against your progress in the dark. They are terrified of the light that is rising within you. They want to keep you bound to their lower level. They cannot go where I am taking your soul. I watched you give your last ounce of strength to keep a dead relationship alive. You stayed up late crying into your pillow hoping that things would change tomorrow. But the people you are trying to save are comfortably using your light to hide their own darkness. You cannot fix what I have already marked for absolute removal from your path. If you rush past this moment, you will allow the enemy to steal your season of breakthrough. Your delay is not simple patience. It is an act of disobedience that is keeping you chained to a crumbling foundation. I have aligned heaven itself to stop your steps today. You must choose my holy protection over your temporary earthly comfort. You are a weary warrior. You have won many battles for others, but you are losing the battle for your own peace. Your soul is standing still in a thick fog of uncertainty. You look at your life and wonder why every step feels so heavy lately. It is heavy because you are carrying dead weight along the narrow path that I designed for your glory. Let us make a covenant of agreement right here. If my words are piercing through the darkness of your confusion, like this video right now, this is not for the algorithm or the world. This is a physical sign that your heart is ready to listen to my direct command. Let the truth anchor itself deep within your fragile soul. I saw you in the bathroom when you thought the sound of the water would cover your tears. I saw you fold your body into the smallest shape because you felt entirely abandoned. You thought no one cared about your sacrifice, but I recorded every single tear that fell from your eyes. They are highly precious and counted in my heavenly sight. Do not weep for what is about to leave your life. The subtraction is necessary for the multiplication that I am preparing to release. When a tree enters a new season, it must drop the dead leaves to make room for new growth. You are clinging to dead things because you cannot see the future glory I promised. Trust my perfect vision. My child, look at me. This goodbye is your deliverance. The enemy wants you to believe that you are losing something valuable. He wants you to feel guilty for protecting your peace, but I am revealing the truth behind his illusions. The very thing you are afraid to lose is the heavy anchor that is drowning your soul in misery. Are you listening to the rhythm of my breath? Do not let your mind race ahead to the details of tomorrow. Focus on this exact second. I am stepping into your atmosphere to quiet the storm in your mind. You have been running on empty for too long. It is time to let my holy presence fill your empty spaces completely right now. You were born to be a cycle breaker in your family line. You were chosen to walk a path that no one before you had the courage to walk. That is why your journey feels so uniquely lonely. That is why you face attacks that others never experience. The adversary is terrified of the generational breakthrough that completely ends with you. I am opening your spiritual eyes to see the invisible traps around you. The comfort zone you are clinging to is slowly shrinking your faith. The people you are trying to please are secretly draining your precious oil. They do not love your soul. They only love what you can do for them. This unequal yoke must be broken forever. I know the fear of being alone is screaming in your ears. The enemy whispers that if you say goodbye, you will spend the rest of your life in isolation. He tells you that no one else will ever understand your complex heart. But those are lies from the pit. I am your eternal companion. I will never leave you comfortless or abandoned. You have stayed with me this far because your spirit knows I speak the truth. Do not look back at the burning bridges behind you. The shock of this news is meant to wake you up from your spiritual slumber. You are too precious to be wasted on common things. Brace yourself for the next great truth I am about to speak into your life. The waiting season that has exhausted your spirit is finally closing its doors. I am about to pull you away from the old foundation entirely. Do not close your ears to what comes next. In the next moment, I will reveal the exact blueprint of the massive shift that is happening in the unseen realm right now to elevate your journey. Breathe deeply, my child. Let your mind stop racing for just this split second. If your heart senses my warm presence in this room right now, like this video, as a silent act of sacred agreement between your weary soul and mine, we are entering a deep sanctuary of truth together. You do not have to hide anymore. I know the exact depth of your hidden pain. You are tired in your bones. You are tired in your daily thoughts. You are tired in the deepest parts of your fragile soul. And every single day you carry a heavy mask of strength just to make sure that the people around you do not see how close you are to completely collapsing. I saw you when you sat on the cold floor of your kitchen last Tuesday night. The house was completely quiet. Everyone else was fast asleep, and you held your heavy head in your trembling hands while you asked me in a desperate whisper if I had completely forgotten about the promises I made to your life. I saw you when you cried softly into the absolute darkness. You hoped the silence would swallow your bitter tears before anyone noticed your vulnerability. You press your face into a soft pillow so your family cannot hear your breaking voice. My child, you were never invisible to me during those heavy hours of sorrow. You have built a high wall around your tender heart. You did this because you have been hurt too many times by the people you trusted most. You feel completely isolated in a crowded room full of shallow chatter. You give your absolute best to everyone, but you always receive nothing but painful disappointment in return. Your sacred sacrifices have gone completely unnoticed by the world. They take your generous help, and they never bother to ask how your spirit is doing. But I have kept a meticulous account of every silent tear that has fallen from your eyes. Not a single drop was ever wasted in my heavenly house of remembrance. Come closer to my heart. Let me wrap you in my eternal love right now. You have been running on absolute empty for far too long. You think that you have to hold the entire world together with your own human hands. But I am your sovereign creator, and I never asked you to carry this heavy universe alone. Listen carefully, because I am about to reveal a deep mystery behind your current isolation. You think you are being punished by this heavy silence. You think that your life has arrived entirely late to its own destiny. But there is a dangerous trap that the adversary placed on your path to destroy your future. I allowed certain doors to shut tightly in your face. I watched you beat your hands against those locked entryways until your fingers were bleeding and sore. You begged me to open them because you could not see the hidden poison inside those rooms. You thought I was being cruel to your sincere desires. I saw the agonizing confusion in your eyes when they walked away from you. They left without a clear explanation. They left when you needed their support the most. You sat in the dark, and you questioned your own ultimate worth as a human being. You wondered if you were simply impossible for anyone to truly love. Let my gentle whisper heal those deep wounds right now. You are not defined by the rejection of temporary people. You are defined by the eternal selection of your heavenly King. I chose you before the foundation of the world was ever laid down by my hands. You are a holy vessel of my divine glory. Do you feel that sudden warmth shifting inside your chest at this very moment? That is my Holy Spirit breathing life back into your dead spaces. The heaviness is beginning to lift, because you are finally letting me touch the core of your trauma. You do not have to pretend to be strong when you are sitting with me. You are my brave but weary warrior. You have spent your entire life fighting fierce battles for the sake of other people. You carry their burdens. You pray for their breakthroughs. You protect their fragile hearts from danger, but you have left your own soul completely unguarded and starving in the wilderness. You feel like a total stranger in your own family home. They do not understand the purity of your motives. They interpret your kind silence as cold distance. They judge your unique path because they cannot see the spiritual calling that is pulling you away from their common traditions. You are set apart. The emotional pain has turned into a physical ache in your body. Your shoulders are always tight with heavy anxiety. Your head throbs with endless questions that have no answers. You look into the mirror, and you barely recognize the tired eyes looking back at you. Your youthful joy has been completely drained away. Let me give you the true rest that sleep can never provide. Close your eyes for a brief moment and surrender the endless analysis of your problems. You cannot figure out the future by worrying about the broken pieces of yesterday. Trust the hands that carved the deep oceans and stretched out the vast skies. I know the absolute terror of the lonely nights you endure. The silence of the room feels like an enemy that magnifies every single fear in your mind. You wonder if this isolation will be your permanent state of existence. You watch others move forward in pairs while you remain in this quiet waiting room. But I am using this forced isolation to save your life. The noise of the crowd was too loud for you to hear my quiet guidance. The opinions of others were slowly suffocating the royal destiny I placed inside your DNA. I had to draw you away into this deep wilderness so I could speak directly to your heart. I was there when they lied about your character behind your back. I was there when they took credit for the hard work you performed in secret. I saw the hot tears of injustice sting your eyes while you chose to remain completely silent. Your holy restraint in the face of cruelty is highly honored in my kingdom. I am pouring the oil of my comfort into your broken fragments right now. Every single place where you were crushed will become a well of supernatural power for your future. You think you are dying in this dark cave, but I am using this heavy darkness to hide you from the arrows of the adversary. You are safe here. You have felt so misunderstood by those who claim to love you. They see your outer shell, but they never look at the weight within. They ask you for favors, but they never offer a shoulder for you to lean on. You have been a source of light for everyone, while walking through your own thick darkness alone. I am changing your core perspective during this quiet midnight hour. The people who walked away were actually removed by my protective hand. I saw the hidden betrayals they were planning against your destiny. I heard the negative words they whispered about your future when you left the room. Your gentle kindness was being treated as a weakness by the enemy. He used your soft heart to keep you chained to people who never belonged in your future season. But I have broken the power of those parasitic attachments today. You are being completely set free from the emotional leeches of your past. Breathe in my divine strength and let the old guilt melt away. You are not responsible for saving people who choose to stay in the dark. Your only responsibility is to obey my holy voice and follow my narrow path. Let go of the heavy obligations that I never placed on your beautiful life. The truest definition of your current season is not abandonment. It is a precise and loving preparation for an unprecedented shift. You have passed the test of faithfulness in the dark valley. Do not look back at the shallow things you are leaving behind. Lean entirely into my presence as we move forward. The news I brought you today was meant to jar your spirit awake. You must say goodbye because the old structure cannot hold the heavy weight of the glory I am about to release. Stay perfectly still while I begin to strip away the illusions of the enemy. The mystery of your deliverance is about to be revealed. I need you to understand something deeply right now. Do not call that painful delay a sudden failure. Let me reveal the grand truth behind the closed doors. What you perceived as a terrible rejection was actually my perfect protection. I am changing the entire foundation of your life today. I am doing this not to destroy you, but to completely rebuild your future. You have spent months asking me why this ending had to happen. You wondered what you did wrong to deserve this sudden betrayal. But I want you to lift your heavy eyes to my face. I need you to listen to the truth of my perspective. The person you are weeping over was a hidden trap for your destiny. If you stayed in that room any longer, they would have completely destroyed your remaining light. I saw the unseen plot that the adversary was building against your soul. The people around you were smiling while secretly planning to compromise your progress. They wanted to keep you tethered to their lower level of existence forever. They were comfortable with you only while you were broken and easy to control. The moment my light began to rise within your spirit, their secret jealousy was activated. Therefore, I had to step into your life with a fierce hand of rescue. I engineered the sudden departure that broke your tender heart into 1,000 pieces. I allowed the relationship to shatter because it was the only way to break the invisible chains. It was a holy intervention from my throne of grace. You thought you were being abandoned, but you were actually being extracted from a burning house. Let me share an ancient story with your heavy heart today. Long ago, there was a young man named David who served his king with absolute loyalty. He played his music to soothe the king's troubled spirit during the dark hours. He fought great battles and brought victory to the nation. He did everything right, and he gave his sincere best to the palace every single day. But the king became intensely jealous of the light within the young warrior. Saul could not handle the divine favor that rested upon David's life. He began to throw spears at the innocent musician while he was serving faithfully. David found himself hunted like a criminal through the barren wilderness. He had to run away from the palace and live in dark, lonely caves for many years. He wept in the silence of those rocks, and he wondered why his loyalty was met with such cruelty. He asked me why he was forced to say goodbye to his home and his position. But I was not absent from his deep isolation. I was using the cold caves to build a powerful character within him. I was shielding him from a corrupted court that would have ruined his royal destiny. The palace he lost was never his true inheritance. I was preparing a much greater throne that no human jealousy could ever shake or destroy. My child, the person who threw emotional spears at your soul does not define your ultimate value. Your restraint in the face of their constant injustice is absolute proof of your holy character. I am recording every single step of your current faithfulness. I will not let the wrong hands write the final ending of your beautiful story. The goodbye you are facing today is identical to David's escape into the wilderness. It is a necessary separation from a king who wants to suppress your divine calling. Stop trying to run back to the palace that tried to kill your spirit. The environment you are longing for is the very place that will poison your future. Look at the grand design of my universe. When a master gardener wants a vine to bear much fruit, he must pick up the sharp blades. He cuts away the branches that are dead or dying. He even prunes the healthy parts that are growing in the wrong direction. The vine bleeds during the cutting process, and it looks completely ruined to the untrained eye. But the gardener does this because he knows the true capacity of the plant. He sees the abundant harvest that will come after the painful season of stripping is finished. You are currently on my holy cutting table. The subtraction you are experiencing is the first phase of your ultimate expansion. I am tilling the soil of your life to plant seeds of supernatural abundance. You must reframe the way you view your scars. Every single wound from your past is a badge of a battle you have successfully outlived. You did not break down during the storm. You did not allow the bitterness to corrupt the purity of your generous heart. You survived the intense heat of the furnace because my invisible presence was standing right next to you in the flames. Now hear my prophetic declaration over your current circumstances. The season of constant defense is officially coming to a complete close today. You will no longer have to beg for crumbs of affection from people who are blind to your worth. I am removing the blindfold from your own eyes so you can see the royal inheritance that belongs to your identity. Let us close the loop on your old questions completely. The closed door was my absolute answer to your prayers for safety. You asked me to deliver you from evil every single morning. When I answered that prayer by removing the toxic person, you wept because you did not recognize my method of deliverance. My protection often looks like a painful loss in the natural world. You must stop looking back at the smoking ruins of yesterday. The enemy wants you to remain frozen in regret, so you miss the new thing I am creating. He wants you to believe that your best days are trapped in your past relationships. But those are malicious illusions designed to keep your soul in perpetual captivity. Your greatest chapters are written in the future. I am introducing a sacred shift into your inner world right now. You have been feeling a strange restlessness inside your chest for the past few weeks. It has made you feel disconnected from your usual routine and your old friends. You thought you were losing your mind or falling into a deep depression. But that restlessness is actually a divine nudge from my holy throne. Your spirit is sensing a massive movement in the unseen realm. The old pattern of your life is no longer compatible with the higher calling ahead. I am stretching your capacity to receive a heavy weight of glory. You cannot carry a heavenly mantle while sitting in a den of worldly compromise. The separation was entirely mandatory for your spiritual promotion. Take this truth into the deepest place of your being. I work miracles through your obedience and not through your comfort. The path of least resistance will always lead you back to the common lifestyle of the crowd. But you were not created to be common or ordinary. You were designed to be a spectacular display of my supernatural power on this earth. Let the heavy weight of false responsibility slide off your tired shoulders right now. You are not the savior of the people who chose to reject my light. You cannot fix a soul that wants to remain comfortable in its own darkness. Release them into my hands and step forward into the clear light of your own calling. Your delay is officially over today. You have stayed with me through the valley of validation, and you have listened to my grand perspective. You now understand exactly why I had to intervene so aggressively in your life. You know that my fierce love was the force behind every single closed door. You are no longer a blind victim of unfortunate circumstances. You are an enlightened child of the King. The preparation room is officially complete, and the doors of the sanctuary are swinging open. Stand up straight and lift your chin with a holy confidence. Do not let the memory of your past failures make you hesitate at the threshold. The ground under your feet is shifting to create a smooth path for your next steps. The hour of your freedom is arriving. You have understood why I had to step into your day and interrupt your steps with this urgent news. Now it is time for you to rise up completely from the ashes of your sorrow. The next words from my mouth will not just comfort your broken heart. They will release a powerful decree that will shatter the authority of the adversary over your life forever. Write Amen in the comments below if you are ready to receive the strength to let go of what is holding you back. This is your definitive moment of absolute choice. The declaration has been made from my throne. What remains is one act of pure obedience from your heart. You have heard my whisper of peace over your pain, and now you must hear me declare your total freedom from the past. I am declaring over your life right now that the old pattern ends today. The ceiling your family has lived under for generations is breaking under my heavy feet. You will no longer suffer from the fear that bound your family. And because you have been faithful in the dark valley, I am stripping the authority of every single voice that told you your dreams had expired completely. Hear my voice with the deepest part of your spirit. The waiting season that has exhausted your hope is closing right now. I am not opening the door gradually. I am swinging it open with an explosive force. And because my timing is always perfect, No human hand on this earth will ever be able to shut this glorious door again. Look at the chain that held you to that toxic relationship. I am sending down my holy fire to melt the links of that unequal yoke. The adversary thought he could use your kindness to keep you in perpetual captivity. He targeted your pure heart because he was terrified of the great light within your destiny. But his legal right over your thoughts is completely canceled today. I am breaking the power of the malicious leeches that drained your life. You spent years pouring your precious oil into vessels that were completely broken. They took your love, and they returned nothing but bitter fruit and silent tears. This day I draw a holy line in the sand of your journey. You are no longer their unlimited resource for comfort and validation. Rise up from the dust of your past disappointments. Stand up straight and lift your chin with a holy pride. You are not a broken victim of unfortunate circumstances on this earth. You are my chosen child, and you are the legal heir to an unshakable kingdom. The preparation process in the wilderness is finished, and your true promotion begins right now. Stop trying to repair the bridges that I have intentionally burned to ashes. Do not look back at the people who chose to walk away from your side. Their removal was my direct answer to your daily prayers for holy deliverance. I separated your steps from theirs because they were secretly plotting to destroy your future glory. Let the dead things go completely. This is the official moment of your absolute severance. I am cutting the invisible cords of manipulation and guilt that tied your soul to their drama. You do not owe them your future strength or your remaining peace. I have completely absolved you from the heavy obligations that human expectations placed on your shoulders. You are free. Now let us enter into the deep sanctuary of my rest. The time for fighting with your own empty strength is officially over. I need you to transition into a state of total surrender before my throne. Let your racing thoughts become perfectly still in my presence. Breathe in my divine life, and let the heavy anxiety lift from your chest. My beloved child, I see the bone-deep tiredness you have carried in secret. You have spent seasons pretending you are stable, while your heart was quietly breaking inside. You took care of everyone else while your own spirit was starving in the wilderness. I love you too much to let you continue down this path of self-destruction. Lay down the heavy bags of regret right at my feet. Stop running through the endless scenarios of what you could have changed yesterday. You cannot fix a soul that actively chooses to remain in the thick darkness. Release them entirely into my sovereign hands and focus on the step I am placing before you. Let go of the tight control. I am pouring the fresh oil of my comfort into your deep fractures. Every single place where you were crushed by rejection will become a fountain of power. I am restoring the joyful years that the locusts of stress have eaten away. You thought you were dying in that dark cave, but I was merely hiding you from the enemy. Receive the divine blessing of supernatural restoration over your life. I am multiplying your peace, and I am clearing the thick fog from your mind. Your physical vessel is being completely renewed by the power of my Holy Spirit today. Your tight shoulders are relaxing because you are finally trusting my perfect vision for your destiny. You are no longer the one who must survive alone in fear. I am raising you up to be a powerful beacon of light for this generation. The unique suffering you endured has given you a profound compassion that cannot be manufactured. The secret battles you won have given you an immense authority in prayer that the comfortable do not possess. Look at the new landscape I am preparing for your journey. The ground beneath your feet is shifting to create a smooth highway through your wilderness. I am aligning holy connections and pure relationships that will celebrate your true worth. You will no longer have to beg for a single crumb of validation from anyone on earth. I have watched you endure the worst nights with a quiet faithfulness. You did not curse my name when the darkness felt completely overwhelming to your soul. You kept your heart pure even when you were surrounded by cruelty and lies. Your trembling obedience in the face of the impossible has moved my heavenly heart with pride. Therefore I am locking the doors of your past season forever. No weapon formed against your new identity will ever find a way to prosper. The negative words they spoke over your future are falling to the ground as empty noise. I have completely vindicated your name in the presence of the spiritual enemies that tried to destroy you. Take a moment to feel the profound stillness of this holy alignment. The noise of your old environment is fading into a distant memory right now. You are standing in the clean atmosphere of my grace. and my unconditional love. The exchange is complete because you gave me your ashes, and I am giving you beauty. Do not fear the unfamiliar path that is opening up before your eyes. The uncertainty you feel is not a sign of danger, but it is a sign of immense growth. I am going ahead of your steps to level the high mountains and straighten the crooked paths. Your only requirement is to keep your eyes fixed entirely on my face. You are crossing the great threshold of your long-awaited breakthrough. The chains are sitting on the floor behind you as useless iron fragments. The person you used to be is no longer compatible with the glory you are wearing today. Step forward with a light heart, because your true inheritance is finally within your reach. The decree has been signed with my own royal blood. Your freedom is absolute, and your victory is completely guaranteed by the word of your Creator. Do not let the familiar whispers of guilt make you hesitate at this gateway. You have passed the final test of the dark valley, and your true season of harvest has begun. We are arriving at the final destination of this urgent message. The heavy burden has fallen away completely, and your spirit is finally light enough to soar. Pause right here and let this truth settle into the deepest place of your being. In the next section, I will show you how to seal this blessing forever. You are stepping into a beautiful reality today. The old arguments have lost their power over your mind completely. The thick fog of confusion is disappearing from your horizon. You can finally see the clear road that I have paved for your feet. And as you walk forward into this brand new day, you will realize that my love has always been your truest compass. Let the absolute stillness of this moment settle deep inside your soul. You have fought the good fight of faith in the dark. You have passed the intense test of the wilderness with honor. And now, the heavy crown of sorrow is being replaced by a magnificent garment of praise that will never fade away. Your future is completely secured. The adversary has no more legal right to torment your thoughts with guilt. He wants you to look back at the burning bridges with regret. He whispers lies about your worthiness to receive my great abundance. But when you stand firmly on the rock of my eternal truth, his weak illusions are completely shattered because his power was already defeated. You are an heir to an unshackable kingdom. Every single open loop of your past is officially closed today. You no longer need to ask why the painful separation had to happen. You have seen my protective hand behind the closed doors, and you understand that the sudden subtraction was merely the first mandatory step toward the supernatural multiplication that is currently arriving. Breathe in my divine peace once again. Let your tight shoulders relax completely under my care. You do not have to figure out the complex details of tomorrow because I am already standing in your future. I have prepared your daily provision with absolute precision. Your only requirement is to rest in the sanctuary of my absolute grace right now. You are currently standing at the grand finale of your long waiting season. The old cycles of constant depletion have been broken by my fierce intervention. You have learned to recognize the subtle traps of the enemy. You have developed a deep spiritual discernment that will protect your holy oil from being stolen by toxic people ever again. You are no longer the lonely person who must survive alone in fear. I have rewritten your identity into a powerful cycle breaker. Your heart carries a unique compassion, and because you survived the intense fire with a pure spirit, your life will now become a magnificent display of my heavy weight of glory. You are ready for the great shift. The negative words that your enemies spoke about your destiny are completely powerless. They tried to douse your bright flame with their jealousy. They wanted to see you fail in the dark valley, but I have used their cruel opposition to elevate your character, because your faithfulness in the face of injustice proved your true maturity. Their weapons have officially failed. Look at the magnificent landscape that is opening up before your eyes. The dry desert is transforming into a beautiful garden of opportunities. I am aligning pure relationships that will celebrate your unique light with sincerity. And you will never have to shrink your beautiful soul again because you are walking under the open windows of my heavenly abundance. The old ceilings are gone forever. Your physical vessel is experiencing a deep supernatural renewal at this very moment. The chronic aches of anxiety are melting away under my warmth. The restless thoughts are being replaced by an unexplainable clarity of purpose. And every single area of your health is being fully restored today because I am pouring the fresh oil of my spirit over your tired body. You are strong once again. We are sealing this sacred covenant between your heart and mine forever. This divine message was not a random event in your day. Heaven orchestrated time itself to deliver this vital breakthrough to your spirit. Do not let the busy noise of the world distract you from the solemn promise that you have received in this holy sanctuary. A true step of obedience is required to anchor this blessing. When you respond to my voice, you establish a physical sign. You tell the unseen realm that you are fully ready to walk, and as you step out of your comfortable safety zone with a brave heart, my power will immediately begin to work wonders for your journey. Your action activates the miracle. Do not let the enemy steal this profound peace. He watches for moments of distraction to plant his doubt. You must guard this holy oil with a fierce determination. Like this message right now, as a powerful token of your absolute agreement with my heavenly decree for your beautiful future. Anchor your faith in this second. I am calling you to become an active bearer of my light. There are millions of weary warriors who are currently crying out. They are trapped in the same toxic cycles that you escaped. And when you choose to share this urgent message with 3 souls who are secretly breaking in silence, you become my extended hand of rescue. You are their answering prayer. By spreading this divine truth, you fulfill your royal mission. Your act of generosity will open the floodgates of heaven. You will receive a double portion of my comfort, because whatever you pour into the lives of my hurting children will always return to your own arms with a greater measure of blessing. The harvest is guaranteed. Subscribe to this sacred channel with the notification bell turned on. I speak to you with a purposeful intent every single day. You need my consistent whisper to navigate the complex traps. And as you remain connected to my daily guidance through these messages, the dark noise of the adversary will completely lose its power over your thoughts. The world will try to pull you back into worry. The old environments will invite you to doubt my promises. But when you anchor your ears to my throne, you will stay steady. You will walk with a royal confidence that cannot be shaken by the bad reports, because my presence is your ultimate shield of protection. Your victory is already established. I am placing my holy seal of protection upon you. No weapon formed against your new season will ever prosper. The angel armies have been deployed to guard your steps, and every single trap that was hidden in the darkness of your path is being exposed right now by the brilliant light of my glory. Walk forward with a light heart. Leave the smoking ruins of yesterday completely behind you. The goodbye you said was your ultimate deliverance. You have been brought into a spacious place of grace, and as you step across this threshold into the unlimited abundance that I have prepared, you will see my goodness in every single detail. Your true harvest begins now. Comment your feelings below, even if you lack the perfect words. I read the silent language of your deep gratitude. Let your text be a permanent monument of your faith. This is the first day of the rest of your beautiful life, because I have completely redeemed you from the hand of the enemy. The old chapters are finished. The atmosphere around you is shifting into divine favor. You will see my goodness manifested in your daily path. I am restoring the joyful years that stress has eaten, and every single broken fragment of your emotional health is being fully gathered into my hands today to create a beautiful masterpiece of peace. Receive this blessing with open arms. Remember that your worth is non-negotiable in my sight. You do not have to perform to earn my love. You are precious simply because you belong to me. And when the world tries to tell you that you are not enough, you must remember the heavy price I paid to rescue your beautiful soul. You are my treasured possession. Every promise I have spoken will come to pass perfectly. I am not a man that I should lie. What my mouth has decreed, my hand will surely perform. And because my covenant with you is written in the eternal realm, no human hand or earthly circumstance will ever be able to alter your destiny. Hold fast to your conviction. Go forth in the immense strength of this sanctuary. You are no longer alone on this narrow journey. My voice will always bring an absolute clarity to you. And as you walk forward with your head held high into the glorious future ahead, my presence will wrap you in an everlasting comfort. Be at perfect peace, my beloved child. Amen.